Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another segment on Kafka's story called Ein Bericht, a report to the Academy. And this, you see a picture on the screen right now of a typical scene of Prague. I don't have other pictures today, sorry, so you may have seen this in an earlier episode. And then this is a picture of him as a young man. His dates are 1883 to 1924, so late 19th and early 20th century. One of the most beloved and intriguing authors of that time that have been made him very popular as a writer. So this is a longer passage today, as you can see there, that we're going to go through. And CJ is with us as our guest speaker. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Okay. So again, this level of text is what you would is a little bit more difficult than you would anticipate at a language proficiency exam at graduate institutions in the United States. So if you can get through this and understand it, you're in good shape. And if you follow the procedure, which we will do when we get to more complex sentences of outlining the structure, identifying the core sentence, which is identifying the verb complex first, the subject second, and the direct object third, if there is one, is a way to efficiently deconstruct these sentences. Okay, so I'll read aloud and CJ will follow me, repeat after me, and please read with him to get a sense of the flow, and then we'll ask questions as we go through and analyzing. Okay, here we go. You all set, CJ? Let's see if you can
Ready to go?
Okay. All right. So, war mir zuerst die Rückkehr, wenn die Menschen gewollt hätten, everybody,
War mir zuerst die Rückkehr, wenn die Menschen gewollt hatten,
freigestellt durch das ganze Tor.
freigestellt durch das ganze Tor.
Okay, let's go up to there. Now, when you look at this sentence like this, you have a verb first construction with var, and this means, and this is a predicate adjective because this verb can't freistellen can take a direct object, so it's when it's constructed with a verb to be, it's a predicate adjective, means it was placed open or allowed to me, the dative. So, but looking in the larger scene of this these sentences, so you have a verb first construction, and then you have a verb coming here. So this is probably a conditional sentence, which if it was open to me, if it was allowed to me, etc. Okay, let's see. This is the Rückkehr is the return at first. If the return was allowed allowed to me, and then wenn. Where's the verb complex of this little clause there, CJ?
Gewollt hätten,
And that means
had wanted,
yeah. If so, and then here's another conditional. If the humans had wanted, and sometimes you can arrive at the meaning of the subjunctive if you imagine it being in the indicative first. If the humans had wanted, it would be pluperfect. But hadn't, if they had wanted, that also has the implication of the subjunctive. Okay. So if it was allowed to me, through the entire gate, durch das ganze Tor, and then what does das refer back to?
Tor,
Yeah, this antecedent is Tor, which where's the verb in that little phrase?
bildet,
Yeah, which forms, and the subject is?
der Himmel,
Good, okay. And so in this case, the das, its antecedent is Tor, but this is serving as the direct object in this relative clause. Uh, I'm sorry, this is which the sky forms above the earth. And then going on, würde, so how would you translate that? Let's just read on. Würde es gleichzeitig mit meiner vorwärts gespeizten Entwicklung immer niedriger und enger. Everybody?
würde es gleichzeitig mit meiner vorwärts Entwicklung immer niedriger und enger.
Okay, let's try to identify just the core sentence as in an outline as form as possible. So if it was allowed to me, da da what was allowed this return, if this return at first were allowed to me, is the idea. It became, and when Verta stands by itself, it means became. So um, it s it became always, as with immer, with the comparison means more and more. It became lower and more narrow at the same time with my um, uh, accelerated development. It's quite complicated. You want to do the whole thing just slowly from the beginning all the way down to Enger, CJ?
Sure. So
And
if
starting with the if, making it conditional. Yep,
mm,
go ahead.
if the return at first was open to me,
Hmm.
um, if mankind had wanted it, um, through the um, allowed through the entire door, which the sky um, can like holds over the earth.
Hmm.
Um, it would have
And
it
then
would have be it became
mhm.
smaller and smaller and narrow, lower and lower and narrower, at the same time with my development forward.
With my sort of accelerated development forward. Great. Um, okay, so the idea is that this return through this door, which initially is as high as the heavens, uh, 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 become became or would become smaller and lower and narrower progressively at the same time with with his accelerated development toward being a human, I suppose. Okay, going on. Wohler und eingeschlossener fühlte ich mich in der Menschenwelt. Everybody?
Voller und eingeschlossener fühlte ich mich in der Menschenwelt.
Ah, finally an easy sentence. Okay, where's the verb?
Fühlte,
Fühlte mich. So I felt myself. I always include the reflexive if that's not the direct object. So I felt myself, and then this are comparative adjectives, uh, more at ease and einschließen is closed in, so sheltered. So I felt myself more at ease and more sheltered in the human world, in der Menschenwelt. Going on. Der Sturm, der mir aus meiner Vergangenheit nachblies. Everybody?
der Sturm, der mir aus meiner Vergangenheit nachblies.
Good. Another relatively simple sentence. The storm, and then nachbliesen is from nachblasen, to which blows toward me, which blows to me. Uh, Here's the dative, and der has its antecedent with the Sturm, the storm which blowed to me from my past. Sanftige sich, everybody.
Sen, sanftiger Sieg.
Yeah, you pronounce it much better than I did. Good. Um, uh, softened, softened itself. So grew calm. So that storm which was blowing from his past grew calm. Going on. Heute es ist nur ein Luftzug,
Heute ist es nur ein Luftzug,
der mir die Fersen kühlt.
der mir die Fersen kühlt.
Okay, so today, and this is a Luftzug just means a breeze. Today it is only a breeze, and then der, as obviously has its antecedent with Luftzug, which um, which coolen, our English word to cool comes from the German, which cools literally, which cools the heels to me, but that's the way of saying it idiomatically in English, which cools my heels. So this little breeze. Und going on. Und das Loch in der Ferne,
Und das Loch in der Ferne,
durch das er kommt und durch das ich einstmals kam,
Durch das er kommt und durch das ich einstmals kam,
ist so klein geworden.
ist so klein geworden.
Let's go up to there. So, and this is the hole in the distance, und das Loch in der Ferne. And then durch das, what does the das refer back to?
Das Loch.
Good. It has to refer to something in the neuter, which is here, das Loch, through which the hole. Now what's the refer back to?
Ein Luftzug.
Yeah, this has to have, its antecedent has to be masculine, which this is. That's the only way you can identify where the antecedents lie, through which the little breeze comes, and through which, durch das, and through which I once came. So this small little hole in the distance, now way back in the distance, through which the breeze is coming, and through which I came, going on, is so klein geworden. How do you translate that?
Has become so small.
Good. Dass ich, wenn überhaupt die Kräfte und der Wille hinreichen würden.
Dass ich, wenn überhaupt die Kräfte und der Wille hinreichen würden.
Okay, so where's the verb complex?
Hinreichen würden?
Yeah, good. And hinreichen means to be sufficient. So how would you translate that just by itself?
They were sufficient.
They would be sufficient. Hinreichen. They would be.
Subjunctive.
Yeah, subjunctive. And the subjects are?
Die Kräfte und der Wille.
Yeah, so the powers and the will, if at all, the powers and the will would be sufficient, then going on, bis dorthin zurückzulaufen. What?
Bis dorthin zurückzulaufen.
What does zu mean again?
In order to?
Yeah, in order to, laufen is to run back to that place, dorthin, das Fell vom Leib mir schinden musste.
Das Fell vom Leib mir schinden musste.
Durchzukommen.
Durchzukommen.
So schinden actually means to scrape, and the fell is the hide of a person or an animal. The hide must scrape from mir. Must be scraped off in order to get through. So the hole is.
Do we have to go back? Do we have to go back to das Ich?
Exactly.
Okay. When I have to scrape.
Yeah, because that's good. So you have to sometimes always go back here, and then there's all these there are all these sometimes relative clauses that are sandwiched in between, that I must scrape from me the hide from my body in order to get through. Okay, let's see. We did the first part together. Let's see. How far do you want to go back?
Where did we stop? This Himmel.
Why don't we start from here? Der Sturm.
Okay.
If you would.
The storm.
Let me just erase this. Yeah, and go slowly so we can follow. The storm, which
blows.
Which blew is past tense.
Which blew.
Okay, go ahead.
To me from my what is that going back?
That
or
the storm which blew to me from my past.
From my past. Softens itself.
Yeah, that's right. Softened or became calm.
And today it is only a breeze, which cools my heels.
Yeah.
And the hole in the distance through which it came and through which I once came.
Just one little question.
Through which it comes, which it comes, and through which I once came, has become so small that I, if the strength and the will were sufficient, in order to go back thence, Um, so that I would have to scrape the the hide from my skin
For my body.
from my body in order to go through there.
Yeah, to get through there. Yeah, I mean, all these movements and developments and differing directions of sort of powers and winds and memories and everything is quite amazing. Okay, well, thanks so much for enduring that, and hope you enjoyed the complexity of it too. Thanks for tuning in. See you later. Thanks. Bye bye.